What if the architect of your team's future just publicly declared his willingness to pay any price for glory? Are you ready for the kind of bold, audacious move that could shake the very foundations of the NHL? Because right now, deep in the heart of Montreal, a quiet revolution is brewing, orchestrated by a general manager who isn't just playing chess. He's playing 3D chess, and he's just laid his cards on the table for the entire league to see. Kent Hughes, the man at the helm of the storied Montreal Canadiens, has once again sent ripples through the hockey world, not with a trade, not with a signing, but with a philosophy, a daring, almost defiant declaration that he is prepared to overpay to get his team to the next level. This isn't just talk. This is a strategic blueprint, a tantalizing glimpse into the high-stakes poker game that is the NHL trade market, and it promises to be nothing short of electrifying. In a league where general managers often speak in carefully crafted cliches, where every public utterance is meticulously vetted to avoid tipping their hand, Kent Hughes stands as a fascinating anomaly. His tenure with the Canadiens, though relatively brief since his out-of-the-blue appointment in 2022, has been marked by a refreshing candor and a consistent ability to surprise. He doesn't view transactions as isolated events, individual wins or losses on a balance sheet, as many in the public sphere might. Instead, Hughes operates with a holistic vision, understanding that every piece, every player, every draft pick, every dollar spent is intricately woven into the grand tapestry of the team's long-term success. He's not just building a roster, he's cultivating an ecosystem where the sum is always greater than its parts. This nuanced perspective is precisely why his recent reiteration of a willingness to overpay for the right deal carries such immense weight. Think about it. How often do you hear an NHL executive openly admit they're ready to spend above market value? It's practically unheard of. Most GMs guard their negotiating leverage like a dragon guards its gold, never revealing a weakness or an eagerness that could be exploited. Yet Hughes, with a calm assurance that belies the audaciousness of his statement, has thrown that conventional wisdom out the window. He's not just talking about paying a fair price, he's talking about going beyond it. If that's what it takes to secure a piece that genuinely elevates the Canadiens. Some might interpret this as a rookie mistake, a public display of desperation that could be pounced upon by rival GMs. But knowing Hughes' track record, his calculated approach, and his uncanny ability to often deliver better than expected outcomes, one has to wonder if this isn't a masterstroke of expectation management. Is he subtly lowering the bar for fan expectations, only to leap over it with a deal that still leaves us stunned? Or is he more profoundly signaling to the rest of the league that the Canadiens are no longer just rebuilding, but are now actively, aggressively, and financially committed to becoming a contender? The latter feels far more aligned with a man who has consistently demonstrated a shrewd understanding of both the game on the ice and the game in the boardroom. So what exactly is the next level that Hughes is so willing to pay a premium for? While he might playfully deny ever setting a hard deadline of summer 2025 for acquiring a specific piece, the whispers, the analyses, and the undeniable roster needs all point to one critical position, a top six center. This isn't just a want, it's a fundamental necessity for a team aspiring to genuine Stanley Cup contention. A strong center core is the backbone of any successful NHL team, driving offensive transitions, anchoring defensive schemes, and providing crucial face-off wins. The Canadiens have promising young talent, but the void for a proven, impactful second-line pivot remains glaring. Hughes knows this. He lives and breathes the market dynamics. He understands that elite centers, especially those who can contribute offensively and defensively, are the rarest commodities in the league. They command exorbitant prices, not just in terms of salary, but in the assets required to acquire them via trade. This isn't a buyer's market, it's a seller's paradise, and every general manager with a valuable center knows it. This is where Hughes' public declaration becomes a powerful, albeit risky, strategic gambit. By openly stating his willingness to overpay, he's not just preparing the fan base for a potentially eye-watering cost, he's also sending a clear message to potential trade partners. He's saying, Yes, we know your asset is valuable. Yes, we understand the market. And yes, we are serious enough to meet your demands, even if they seem steep. It's a bold move that could either open doors or inflate prices even further. But for a GM who believes in the interconnectedness of all decisions, perhaps the long-term gain of securing that pivotal piece outweighs the short-term pain of a perceived overpayment. After all, what is the true cost of not acquiring the player who could unlock your team's full potential? It's a question that haunts many GMs, but Hughes seems ready to answer it with action. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the legendary captain whose name inevitably surfaces whenever high-stakes center discussions arise, Sidney Crosby. While the idea of Crosby in a Canadiens jersey might seem like a fantastical dream for many, his name's mere mention in the context of Hughes' overpay philosophy is incredibly telling. The astute observation from a recent article by Jonathan Bernier points out that if anyone were to control their destiny, it would be Crosby. But even for a player of his unparalleled stature, the Pittsburgh Penguins, a franchise built around his legacy, wouldn't simply give him away. They would demand a king's ransom, a package so substantial it would make even the most seasoned GM blanch. Is Hughes' statement a subtle nod to the astronomical price tag associated with a player of Crosby's caliber, or even a player approaching that caliber? Is he preparing us for a scenario where the Canadiens might have to part with truly foundational pieces to land their white whale? This is where the tension truly mounts. If you're a promising young prospect like Michael Hage, a forward with immense potential, or David Reinbacher, a highly touted defenseman who represents a significant part of the Canadiens' future, you might be feeling a knot in your stomach right about now. Hughes has a history of navigating these waters with finesse, often acquiring valuable assets without completely gutting the farm system. But the scale of a potential deal for a top-tier center, especially one that could genuinely push the Canadiens into contender status, might necessitate a different approach. It's a high-wire act, balancing the immediate need for impact talent with the long-term vision of sustainable success. The question isn't just if Hughes will make a move, but who he's willing to sacrifice to get it done. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the anticipation is palpable. Despite the seemingly audacious nature of his overpay declaration, it's crucial to remember that Kent Hughes isn't a reckless gambler. His tenure has been marked by a shrewdness that often goes unheralded in the immediate aftermath of a transaction. He has consistently demonstrated an ability to extract value, to identify opportunities, and to make moves that, in hindsight, appear far more advantageous for the Canadiens than they did at first glance. He's not one to be easily fleeced, nor is he prone to making emotional, short-sighted decisions. Consider his past dealings: the acquisition of Kirby Dach, the strategic maneuvering in the draft, the patient development of young talent. These weren't moves born of desperation, but of calculated foresight. He has a knack for finding the sweet spot, for identifying players who are either undervalued or whose potential hasn't been fully realized elsewhere. This track record provides a crucial layer of context to his current stance. When Hughes says he's willing to overpay, it's not an admission of weakness. It's a statement of intent backed by a history of strategic acumen. He understands that sometimes the true cost of an asset isn't just its immediate market value, but its transformative potential for your organization. If a player can genuinely accelerate your rebuild, elevate your competitive window, and inspire your existing talent, then perhaps what appears to be an overpayment on paper is, in reality, a bargain in the grand scheme of things. It's a testament to his confidence in his own evaluation process and his unwavering belief in the direction he's steering the Canadiens. The journey to contention is rarely linear, and sometimes a bold, decisive leap is precisely what's required to clear the next hurdle. So, as the hockey world watches and waits, one thing is abundantly clear: Kent Hughes is not afraid to play by his own rules. His public declaration of a willingness to overpay is more than just a soundbite. It's a strategic beacon, signaling a new, aggressive phase in the Canadiens' rebuild. It's a promise of high-stakes drama, of calculated risks, and of a relentless pursuit of excellence. Whether it's for that elusive top six center, or perhaps an even bigger fish we haven't even considered, the stage is set for a monumental move. The price will be steep, the assets potentially significant, but the reward, if Hughes' vision comes to fruition, could be nothing short of transformative. Get ready, hockey fans, because the future of the Montreal Canadiens is about to get a whole lot more interesting, and Kent Hughes is ready to pay the price for glory. The question now isn't if a big move is coming, but when and what incredible spectacle it will be. What do you think about Kent Hughes' bold strategy? Are you excited by the prospect of a major acquisition, even if it means parting with significant assets? Or do you believe caution is the better path? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're as pumped as we are for what's coming next, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single beat of this incredible journey.